Hi and welcome back. For today's class, we're going to get started with some core work. So I'll explain how you can do this. If you have a ball, that's going to be the best way to do it. But if you don't have a ball, you can slide with a towel if you're on a hard surface or paper plates or something like paper plates-ish that will slide on carpet. So I'll show you those modifications, how to get it done. Let's get started. All right, so these first exercises we're going to start off with. It's a great way to activate your core and get everything warmed up at the same time. Think of it as just like moving variations of plank. So I'll show you the variation without any props first, which is coming into plank and then just drawing the knees up. Most basic variation, just on the hands and the knees. Advanced, stepping from plank. If you're on the slippery surface where you have a towel, then you can do pull-ins either from the knees or from the legs. Single leg. Most advanced would be trying to pull both legs in at the same time. And if you have the ball, which is what I'll be demonstrating, then you can pull it in like slip. So we're going to do the plank variation, and then we're going to do it on the back variation. We'll actually start with on the back variation. And before you even come into that, I just want you to stand with your back against the wall. So the very first thing, this is a pretend wall, so I can't go flat against this thing. So stand with your back against the wall, and then adjust your pelvis so that your pubic bone and tail aim straight down. Open up the soles of your feet, open up your toes, stand with good posture, and then bring your elbows back against the wall and drive the shoulder heads back towards the wall. So elbows and shoulder heads press back. Now, as you press into the wall, maybe it's just like, 15% of your pressure. I want you to feel if it feels like both sides of your back muscles engage evenly around your shoulder blades. Now, did your ribs project forward to do it? See if you can contain your rib cage. On your exhalation, hug the sides of the rib cage in and down. Knit it down, and then still drive back through the elbows, shoulders evenly. Now, just notice you might feel like you can't push as much when you hold the rib cage in, but I want this work to come from your core. So now bracing in your core, start to press back more, 30, 40, 50% pressing back into the wall. Keep your neck long, try to strain from your neck, squeeze in your core, squeeze your legs, squeeze your glutes, and feel how when you squeeze the legs and the glutes, you can drive back even better, and then release that. Okay, now come onto your back, and we're going to use that same idea. Now, on the back, you can do those same exercises, sliding in from the ground, one leg or the other, or you can do the ball. So, actually, my bad, let me show that just because I know lots of people won't have the ball. So to slide in on your back, you'll just drive down just like you were at the wall, squeeze in, and then slide the heels in, and slide the heels out. Keeping the same integrity that you have at the wall. To make it more challenging, you'll lift your buttock up a little, slide it in, keep the drive through the shoulders, elbows, slide it out. If you have the ball, you can do it with the ball. Alright, and we're just going to bust out 8 and then 8 from the plank, and we're going to do 2 rounds of it to warm up. Are you ready? There's a lot of explanation to get this done. Drive the shoulder heads, drive the elbows, hug in on the side ribs, and then engage the glutes, backs of the legs to lift. And then squeeze the ball from the backs of the legs towards you, squeeze the glutes, or squeeze the floor towards you, and reach back out. Exhale to lift and pull in. Inhale to reach out. Exhale to lift and pull in. Inhale to reach out. Exhale, lift, pull in. Inhale it out. 2 more. See if you can straighten the arms and still keep the press through the elbow shoulders. And then flip around. And we'll do it from plank. So hands right underneath your shoulders. Make sure the elbows aren't locked out. And then hug the side ribs again. Spread your collarbones. Don't let the rib cage sink towards the ground. Exhale to pull in. Inhale to reach out. Alright, second time from the back. So if you don't have one of these, I recommend grabbing one because they come in handy for a lot of different stuff that we'll end up doing. You can order one off the interweb. They'll send that thing to you, probably. Everything's closed now. Okay, so drive the shoulders, elbows down, but don't let your ribs push up. Hug the side ribs. Here we go. Feel both glutes supporting you. Squeeze the hamstrings as you pull in. Use the exhalation to lift. And as you squeeze at the top, see if you can feel inner, outer hamstrings. Squeeze the butt to the backs of the knees, rib cage in, tailbone down. Reach it back out. Let's do 8 more. And then from plank position. Now this time we're going to make it a little trickier. As you pull in, we'll try to do a twisting action. So if you're just doing one, if you don't have the ball, you're doing one leg, then you'll just alternate, pulling opposite knee to elbow. But if you're on the ball, then you could pull both knees to one elbow. Now this is going to become more challenging on the shoulder girdle, so see if you can maintain the integrity in the shoulder girdle and twist from your middle. Alright, come off the ball. Take that thing off to the side. Hopefully it will stay. And then take child's pose. Forehead down, arms stretched forward. Breathe into it. Stretch into downward facing dog. Just notice how warmed up your body feels. Feel all that heat that you built from that exercise. Reach down into your knuckles, into your fingers. Let yourself come forward a little bit so you can turn the triceps down, hug the rib cage in as you glide back into dog. Inhale forward to plank pose. Engage your legs, side ribs as you stretch back into down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to dog. Inhale plank. Exhale dog. Inhale plank. Exhale chaturanga. Inhale plank. Exhale dog. Inhale plank. Exhale chaturanga. Inhale plank. Exhale dog. Last one, inhale plank. Exhale chaturanga. Inhale plank. Exhale dog. Raise your right leg up behind you, inhale. Exhale, step your foot up to the outside of your hand. Lower your back knee down. Bend your elbows, sink a little bit deeper towards the ground. Straighten your elbows, navel to spine, spin your rib cage and twist. Take your right arm up. And then, like you're going to do thread the needle, slide your right hand behind your left wrist. Inhale back up. Exhale, right hand to right thigh, knee, press down through your back shin and your right foot. Inhale, come up, raise your left arm up. Exhale, side bend to the right and soften your left side psoas. Feel it release back towards the bone as you reach. Come back up. Bring your hands down. Then draw your hips right back over top of your left knee. Slide your right foot forward a few inches until you feel a stretch in the hamstring. Don't lock your knee. Instead, to get a deeper stretch, reach your sit bones back, reach down through the foot, draw your navel up to your chest and reach forward through the side ribs. Rebend your knee, step back, plank pose. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, step to the outside of your left hand. Lower your back knee. Bend your elbows, see if you can melt a little bit deeper. Come back up, twist. Navel to spine, spin your rib cage, take your left arm up. And thread the needle. Reach the hand behind the right wrist. Come back up, twist. Then hand to your left knee. Press down through your right shin, through your heel. Come up. Soften the right side psoas as you reach over to the side. Reach down through your right knee. Come back up. Hands down. Hips come back over the top of the knee. Wiggle your front foot forward. Reach your sit bones back. Reach the pelvis back like I pulled you right here from the side of your hips. And reach forward through the side ribs. Navel up to your heart. Bend your knee, step back into plank. Use your core and your legs to stretch to dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Put a little bend in your knees as you let your head drop. Then roll yourself up to stand. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower into chaturanga. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Inhale into low cobra. Lengthen through the tip of the tailbone towards the heels. Now press down through the legs. Everything below your bra line, press down to the ground. And then from the bra line up, I want you to coil into a back bend. Don't just hinge from the neck, keep the neck long. Then lower your heart down. Press up into plank. And stretch back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale to chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step the right. Inhale, Viroma. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left. Inhale, Viroma. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, come up. Open to your side, warrior two. And just check your alignment. Turn your right thigh out so your ankle, your knee, and your hip are all lined up. You might need to wiggle your left foot to the left a little to get that line, depending on how tight your hips are or how open your hips are, depending. Make sure your pelvis is upright. Now we're going to try a variation from here, where you slide your right hand behind your back onto your lower back and maybe wiggle it up in between your blades, depending on how open your shoulder is. But try not to let it sink onto your chest. Then take your left arm straight up. Bend your left elbow, slide your hand behind your head. And then from here, staying nice and open, if you can hold the hands, pull them in opposite directions. If you aren't able to bind the fingers, just pretend like you're holding them and pull in opposite directions. Remember from the beginning of class when you couldn't hear me and I was teaching all about the rib cage? Okay, so the more that you stretch your arms, the more that your rib cage will want to push forward. So hug the side ribs back into position. Then from here, tip over your pelvis. Tip your pelvis over your right thigh and start to lean out over your leg. Keep the side ribs hugged. Reach the arms in opposite directions, like you're pulling the hands or you had a rope in between your hands and you're pulling it. Then press into your feet, come back up into warrior two, spread your arms out. Flip your right palm, reverse warrior. Bring your hands to the mat. Step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot Veer 1, inhale, come up. Open up to the side, veer 2. Check your front leg alignment, your foundation, ankle, knee, hip. You might even need to scoot your right foot to the right more to get that line. That's fine. Hands on the pelvis to make sure the pelvis is nice and upright. Then sneak your left hand behind your back. And you can see now, my shoulders are pretty tight. My hands can go up very far, but you might have better range of motion. Take your right arm up. Externally rotate it, bend the elbow, slide your hand. If you can get the fingers, cool. If not, don't try to jam yourself to get it. Like if I really jam myself, I'd probably grab my fingers, but then I would distort the spine, the rib cage. So I just hold where I can, draw the rib cage back into position, use the exhalation, and then reach the arms in opposite directions, like you're pulling something in between the hands, pulling the elbows in opposite directions. Then tip from your pelvis out over your thigh. Press into your feet, come back up into Veer 2. Open up your arms. Reverse warrior. Hands to the mat. Step back, vinyasa, or just go right back into down dog. Step your right foot for warrior 2. Inhale, come up. Modified side angle, hand down onto the inside of the foot. Use your blocker on the floor. Then externally rotate your top arm and reach it overhead. Internally rotate your arm, wrap it behind your back, hook your outer hip. Then drive into your right heel and feel the hamstring start to turn on in your back leg. Slowly start to straighten the leg, but feel your muscles supporting you. You're not just locking into it. Feel your hamstrings almost creating resistance by engaging a bit, so it's almost like an eccentric contraction. Almost. It is like a Then bend your knee, slide your foot in, back foot in a little closer, hand the foot in front of your pinky toe, and step up. Then from here you could bend your left knee, reach back, take a hold of your foot, or you could go for classic half moon. Stretch the leg out, take the arm up. Open back up if you're in the bound position. Bend your knee and slide back into triangle pose. Then bring your left hand down, spin your back heel up, bend your right knee. As you plant the left hand flat, soften your belly and twist. Take your right arm up. So turn your rib cage. Then from here, we can do this side plank variation where you're getting a hip opener, where you're stretching the outer hip piriformis. So from here, I turn to the outside edges of the feet and I hold. If you're not so into this one, then you can just step your right leg back or take your big toe up. But if you find this one right and start to externally rotate the right thigh and move it away from you, you'll feel a nice stretch in this part of your glute outer hip. Slowly with control, bring your right hand down, step back, vinyasa, or just right back into down dog. From down dog, step your left foot. Inhale, come up into warrior two. Modified side angle. Put your hand down onto the inside, right arm up. Externally rotate your right arm and reach it all the way over. Then wrap your right arm behind your back, half bind. And as you sink a little deeper so your knee comes over your ankle, now press straight down through your left heel and feel your hamstrings start to turn on the back of the leg. Then slowly start to straighten the leg, but keep the hamstrings turned on so it's an eccentric. Rebend the knee, scoot your back foot in, put your hand and foot in front of your pinky toe and step up. Hold the classic pose, or bend your knee and reach back with your hand for your foot. Open up into the pose if you're holding the foot. Bend your left knee and slide back into triangle pose. Bring your right hand down. Spin your back heel up as you bend your left knee. Soften your belly, turn your rib cage to take your left arm. Then from here you can hang out here, or you can go back into the classic side plank, or you can try the variation, turn on the outside edge of the feet. So you'll feel this thigh turns out as you roll into the outside edge of the front foot, and you'll get a stretch in the outer hip. Then slowly with control, come back, hands down, step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. From downward dog, look forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Squat down for Malasana or crow pose. So if you're already working on crow, go for that. Otherwise, work on creating an opening for your hip by hanging out in Malasana for 5 breaths. When you can't hold your crow any longer, hop back and take a vinyasa. Then look forward, step your foot up to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward. Inhale into chair pose. Shift your weight over into your right heel. Step your left leg back into crescent. Now from here, lift your heart up, put a little bend in your back knee, and reach your arms back behind you into the biggest circle that you can. Then internally rotate the arms and bring them down towards your outer hip buttock, outer back side pocket, back pocket. Then lift your hands away from your back pockets. Externally rotate your arms and making the biggest arc circle with your arms that you can, reach them up. Now bring your arms down in front of you. And we're going to do that one more time. Little bend in your back knee, keep your right outer hip engaged. Raise your arms up in external rotation, spinning the biceps back. Lift up as high as you can. And then start to reach behind you, biggest arc that you can as you internally rotate the arms. We'll bring them to the outer back pockets. Lift away from your back pockets, keeping your ribs braced in. Then externally rotate. Make the biggest arc that you can to reach up. Then bring your right hand to your hip. Twist, hook your left elbow to your knee. Join your palms together. You can hold the back leg up, or if you feel your muscles starting to fatigue, you can drop the back knee down to work on your alignment. Bring your hands back down. Step back into downward facing dog or take a vinyasa. Look between your hands, step or hop to the top. Inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, forward. Inhale into chair pose. Shift over to your left heel. Step your right leg back. Now put a little bend in your back knee. And we'll reach the arms back, big circle. Reach back as far as you can as you internally rotate. Hands come to the outer buttock. Then lift away from the buttock. Externally rotate. Make the biggest arc that you can, reaching out and up. Lift up as high as you can up overhead. Bring the arms back down in front of you. Sink a little bit deeper. Get right into your left heel. Feel the left outer hip strong. Externally rotate your arms as you reach up. Biggest reach that you can as you reach back. Internally rotate as the hands come next to your outer hip. Lift back away. And then externally rotate as you reach up. Bring your left hand to your hip and twist, hook your elbow. You can drop your back knee down. If you can feel that like, oh, my legs are just, can't support me anymore, I won't be able to hold a good alignment, just drop that back knee down. Then bring your hands down, step back into dog, or take a vinyasa. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Parsvottanasana. Hands behind the back. Step your back foot a little bit closer as you straighten your right leg. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, fold forward out over your leg. Press into your feet, inhale into a flat back. Now hold it, you can feel with your hands there in your back if you're rounded out at all. Come all the way up, arms down at your side, lean back out over your leg, and step up to balance in warrior three. Now lower your left hand to the blocker of the floor. Right outer hip strong, right center heel grounded. Turn your rib cage and maybe take your right arm up once you're steady. Fold forward at the front of your mat. Hook your big toes and inhale to a flat back. Exhale, bend your elbows out to the side, let your head drop. Release your big toes, inhale into a flat back. Step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale, come up. Bring your hands behind your back. Straighten your left leg as you maybe come a little bit closer. Open up your chest, inhale. Exhale, start to fold forward out of your leg. Press into your feet and inhale, come into a flat back. Use your hands to feel what's happening in your back. If you can really make it nice and long and flat. Then inhale, come up, arms down at your side. Lean out over your leg and see if you can still find that flat back position. Bend your knee and step up. Laundry's ready. Reach to your hip out of your lower back. Find the center left heel, find the outer hip. Then set your right hand down and twist. hand down, right leg down. Now slide your hands underneath your feet and fold forward. Release your hands out from underneath your feet. Inhale into a flat back. Step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. Now let's come into low lunge, like so. Or you can come into an upright variation of the low lunge where you catch the foot with both hands, come up over top of the knee, and engage the glute as you reach straight down through the knee. Whichever one helps you to get into the stretch best. Release that and come into half splits. Pitch back over top of the left knee. Take the right foot forward. Start with plantar flexion. Go for dorsiflexion. Bend your knee, change sides. And release. Come into half splits or full splits. Release that. Now for finishing work today, we're going to work on a little bit of shoulders, upper back, and then opening up the groins and the hips. So for this one, you're going to come onto your belly with your forehead down, hands behind your back onto your lower back. Then lift the elbows up away from the ground. Press your feet down, engage your core, engage your glutes, engage your legs. And then from your strong shoulders, you're going to lift the hands up off the butt an inch if you can. And then reach your arms straight back. Externally rotate your arms, reach them forward. Now, if your shoulders are kind of tight, you can slide them up along the ground. If you have more mobility, you're going to keep the hands up and you're going to fight them up as high as you can. And then take the arms all the way into a wide position. Keep the rib cage in. Then bend the elbows, slide them behind your head. Lower elbows down. Lift elbows up. Now, using your strong shoulders, can you lift the hands up off the head an inch? Rib cage stays in. Stretch the arms out into a wide position. And we'll take it in reverse. Reach back. An inch on a rotation. Hands come onto the buttock, lower back, lower down. Lift back up, lift off, Reach straight back. Externally rotate. Reach all the way forward. Into the Y position, hold. Hands behind the head. Lower down. Lift up. Into the Y position. Reach back. And now lift the head, chest, legs up. And hold. Now imagine that I'm pulling a hair on the top of your head and I'm pulling your toes straight back as long as you can. I don't care about how high up you can come. And then arms out to the side and reach higher away from the ground. And then out into the Y position and reach higher. Lower yourself down, rest one cheek on the mat. You're going to repeat that, arms back, arms out to the side, arms forward, or you can bend the knees, grab the ankles. Up to you. I'm going to do the repeat it. Okay, so either bow pose or repeat this Shalabhasana. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the ribs in and down, arms straight back. Arms out to the side, reach higher, stretch longer, reach, pull the toes back, pull the head forward, arms out into the Y position, and release, rest the other cheek. Stretch back to down dog. Then step your right foot in between your hands and walk around to the side of the mat. Parallel your feet. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, I actually want you to turn your toes out just slightly so the inner border of your foot is parallel to the other inner border of the foot. And then bend your right knee and put a stretch from your left inner leg to your left inner foot. Now some can go much deeper into this. You can turn your foot out, sit all the way down, whatever. I just want you to go deep enough to where you feel the stretch. And change sides. And change sides. Now you might be able to go for the deeper variation where you spin the heel up, lower the buttock down. Change sides. Back to center. Now from Prasarita position, I want you to start to squeeze the legs in as if you're going to bunch the mat up. Squeeze the mat, pull it in towards the midline, and give it 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50% of your squeeze. And then slowly release that and pretend like you're trying to push the legs away from each other. 10, 20, 30. You're going to lift the feet off the mat. 50%, squeeze out. And then relax. See if you can take your feet a little bit wider and still use your muscles to support yourself. So you're not just hanging in the joints. And you might feel after having done the side to side, the squeezing, that you can sustain this. And walk your hands back and fold. And from the folded position, let's try it again. Squeeze in. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then the opposite, push, like you're going to lift the feet out to the side, away from each other. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, lift out, lift out, lift out. And then relax, so you can go 1 inch wider without sinking into your joints. Still feel your muscles supporting you. Oh yeah. That's the deepest one I've done in a while now. If your head is all the way down, you want to lean into tripod headstand, go ahead. Otherwise, just hang out here. If you're up in tripod, split your legs wide apart. Control yourself back down. Flat back, everyone. And then drop the knees down to the ground. Walk it in a little, drop your knees down. Okay, the next one we're going to do is frog pose variation. So you're going to come onto the knees with the feet externally rotated. Show you what it looks like from behind. Our ankles externally rotated, shins turn out, just like that. And go into where you feel a comfortable stretch. So just like 50% stretch. Scale of 1 to 10, you're right at a 5. Slow breath in through your nose. And slow breath out. Then start to squeeze in with your legs. Create tension through your body. Press down through your arms. Squeeze 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%. Squeeze. You're pushing down into the floor, squeezing the legs like you're going to bunch the mat up in the middle. And then slowly release that and do the opposite, like you're trying to lift the knee out to the side away from the ground. Push out for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% effort. Squeeze it out. Create tension through the whole body to do it now. Squeeze the core. And slowly release. And now see if it's safer to go a little bit deeper to find the 50% stretch. Again, it's not that you're just jamming the leg out, you're like, oh, I want to tear something. It should just feel like now you can go deeper safely. Hang out there in that position, breathe. And we'll try it one more time. Squeeze in. 10, 20, 30. Drive down into the ground and pull the legs towards each other. 40, 50%. Now squeeze through your whole body. Press down through your arms. Squeeze your core. Slowly release that. And then the opposite muscles. Like you're trying to lift the knee out to the side and up. You're going to lift the knees off the ground. 10, 20, 30, 40. Now create tension through your whole body. Press through the forearms, squeeze your abs, squeeze your side ribs. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze those knees, lift them off. 50% effort. And slowly release that and see if it's safe to go a little deeper. Maybe you can sink your butt back a little. All right, then draw your hips forward some. Slide the knees in slowly. Ooh. New and improved groins. All right, then from here, go for single leg pigeon, double pigeon, Gomukhasana, or you can hang out in Janu Shirshasana. Leave it up to you. I'm going to do the Janu Shirshasana to test how open my groin is now. But if you want to do one of the other hip openers, that's cool too. Oh wow, this is a whole new groin and pelvis situation I'm working with. Come back up. Change sides. Come back up. Take your legs wide apart. Bring your left leg into Janu Shirshasana position. Turn to face your left knee. Press the thigh down away from you, sit up tall. And then in a side bend, keeping the feeling of lift and extension through the spine, you're going to take the right hand over to the right inner leg and then slide the left arm up and over. And if you can't quite catch your outer foot, then just slide your hand behind your head. Come back up. Change sides. Smooth the right thigh down and away from you. Take the left hand to the left inner thigh. Now to get extension through the spine, that's what a back bend is. So almost like you're arcing from your upper back up and over something. Keep that feeling as you take your right arm up and over. Try not to let it come just from your lower back though. Take the breath down through your belly and feel the energy move up through the thoracic spine, middle upper spine moving. Come back up. Then take Baddha Konasana. Make sure that you can sit up straight and tall, even if you need a block. And we're going to do a little bit of pranayama here in Baddha Konasana. So as you sit tall, take a slow, steady breath in through your nose. And let it out. Bring your hand to your nose. Plug your left nostril. Breathe in through the right. Plug the right. Breathe out through the left. Ujjayi breath in through the left. Plug the left. Ujjayi out through the right. In through the right. out to the left. Into the left. Plug the left, out to the right. Let go of the breath control. Then visualize an opening just above your brow, right at the center, where the third eye is. Imagine that energy center opening up and you could look through it. As you open it, sense that you could see white light through that area and look into the white light. As you look into the white light, breathe it through your whole body at the same time. Keep focusing, all of your focus, all of your attention, one point of attention on this white light. And let go of the meditation. Lie down flat on your back to let your body completely relax. If there's one last little thing you want to do, like a final spinal twist, that's fine. Otherwise, just lay flat and relax. Gently bend your knees. Go over to your side. And press up. Thank you. Namaste. Alright, well thank you so much for joining me in today's class. That meditation that we did, that comes from, that's a Kriya Yoga technique that I took from Paramahansa Yogananda. That was the author of Autobiography of a Yogi, which is a great book to read if you haven't already. I recommend trying to find the original version though, the original edition. It's a blue cover as opposed to the second edition, which is a red cover. He took out a lot of the, kind of like the secrets that weren't supposed to be told because he kind of got a lot of heat from people in that monastic order. And so it's kind of interesting tidbit. Check out the blue version. All right, well that's it. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Keep with it, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.